Hi, I'm Flaky, and we got an update, one that came out 2 days after my video on Aftermarket Parts did. This update did some fixes and adjustments, while also doing a huge balance pass on Aftermarket Parts. So to make sure you are up to date on what these kits do, we're going to look into them and see what has changed. Some of them had more substantial changes than others. Let's see what's new, find out how they work now, and if the DM56 works now, probably not. What's new with the Aftermarket Part update? We're going to kick things right off with the AMR9. This SMG has a part that adds a second barrel to your gun, allowing for more stopping power while retaining a smaller package. Unfortunately, I was pretty critical of this one. It functions as a 2-round burst, so it did not feel like you were truly using 2 barrels at the same time. And on top of the recoil and ADS spread you got, it made this thing one in desperate need of an update. Luckily, that is exactly what this update did. The big change is that now the weapon fires in full auto function with 2 rounds being fired each shot, allowing this gun to have double the damage with each trigger pull, as well as ADS spread being decreased by 75% and hipfire spread being decreased by 50%. A big game changer to how the weapon handled before. Because of this, it becomes a must-pick attachment. The AMR9 was already an upper tier pick for the SMG class with its magazine capacity alone, but throwing this aftermarket part on allows you to increase that damage greatly. You'll be taking down zombies faster than you can say, how the hell does this thing even work? Make sure you slap on the 100-round drum and something to increase your damage range, or else you'll be reloading just as much as you are killing. This one had the biggest change in this update, and it really shows. Go out and give it another try. Let's segue things into the Rival 9. This SMG had a burst kit that allowed it to have a more aggressive playstyle, so you can break out the confines of your SMG range and hold good damage numbers out of your typical range of 10 meters. This kit got some buffs and some nerfs. Starting with the buffs, we got an increase to the headshot multiplier up to double damage from the previous being 1.3 times damage, neck damage up to 1.5 times being up from 1.1, upper torso being buffed to 1.5 times being up from 1.1 times, our burst delay down to 66 milliseconds from 80 milliseconds, a 10% decrease to your sprint to fire penalty, a 7% decrease to your ADS penalty, and hipfire spread penalties decreased by 20%. Now for the nerfs. It's all based on your damage. Your max damage is down to 26 coming from 30, medium damage is down to 24 from 29, and your minimal damage is down to 22 from 25. What this creates is a burst kit that is more centralized on a precision based playstyle. You will need to hit upper body shots way more or you will be doing less damage now, but those shots in return are more rewarding. Combining those damage multipliers with your quicker fire rate, you'll be shredding through zombies with your headshots noticeably quicker than you ever did before. If you find yourself needing help to lay down more consistent headshots, slam a can of Deadshot Daiquiri like you're at a frat party and you'll be taking full advantage of the killing potential in no time. The highs are higher and the lows are lower with this submachine gun. It is still a good pick if you want to take your rival to mingle in the medium range engagement zones. The Holger 5.56 and the DM56. These two are unique in how they both share a conversion kit. The signal burst turns a rifle into a 4-round burst, allowing you to focus more on a precision-based role, similar to the Jack Headhunter kit for the Rival 9. Unfortunately, it wasn't very good in zombies for 2 reasons. 1, the DM56 did not work at all, and 2, the burst delay caused the weapon to lag behind in killing power, where you can do more damage without the aftermarket part. The signal burst has had the same changes to each gun, with an increase to gun kick control and recoil control by 10%. What is the difference between those two? I have no idea, but you know what? It sounds pretty cool. And your burst fire delay is down to 90 from 120 milliseconds, a whole 25% decrease. Today's changes target these weaknesses, making this aftermarket part a more favorable option. You definitely got that part right. The burst delay was the biggest crutch to this thing in zombies. Its damage stayed the same on the Holger, so you putting this thing in burst actually hindered the weapon as your rate of fire was decreased noticeably to the base weapon. So this delay buff makes all the difference here in taking out zombies of all kinds. What about the DM56 though? Yep. Unfortunately, this update has failed to address the unaccessible zombies aftermarket part, leaving us to only wonder how it works in the game mode. All in all, this becomes a viable pick, but compared to the base weapon, you are still better off using something else. The advantages of using this burst does not necessarily justify the attachment slot outside of personal preference. And can I just say how much of a waste of opportunity this part was? You could have easily made this into the XM8. They both were 4-round bursts, well at least in Black Ops 2 anyways, and the XM8 shares the same engineering as the Holger, well the gun the Holger is based off of anyways. This easily could have been the XM8 and it would have been much cooler. I'd use it for the nostalgia alone. Missed opportunity is this aftermarket parts bread and butter, unfortunately. And last but not least, the Sidewinder. This kit turns your battle rifle into a light machine gun with its 50-round drum and accelerating fire rate the longer you held down the trigger. This allowed the weapon to be perfect in holding back a horde or showing the HVT disciple how much you hated them. The update only expedites the process, by 40% actually, allowing you to reach your max fire rate in 15 rounds of continuous fire instead of 25, allowing you to lay down fire much quicker. Throw a Jack BFB on this thing, and you lose your only real drawback to using this thing. This mod became one of my all-time favorites the moment that I used it for the first time. If you still haven't done it, I strongly recommend you do. Well, that is all for today. It was a short one for sure, but I felt it was necessary so you can stay up to date on these parts so you can make informed decisions. If you have not already, check out my video on aftermarket parts for a breakdown on all of the parts that came out before Season 2. Have any thoughts on these new changes, or you would like to suggest something for me to cover? Let me know down below. Thank you all very much for checking out my channel. As of the time of doing this video, we are at 190 views, and I cannot thank you all enough for checking out. I appreciate all of your support and hope you enjoy your stay. We are only getting started. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You have a beautiful day, and remember, keep your head on a swivel. One last thing before we do go, let's check out the Season 2 roadmap. The devs said they were cooking for this season, so I'm really excited to see what's going to be available soon. Oh, I get it now. The joke is when they were cooking, they were actually cooking dog shit.